If you can't sit alone in a room without distractions, are you really free? You see, stillness has become alien to the modern mind. We become addicted to doing, to urgency, to fixing. And our minds now, they're stiff and they're restless. They're stuck in these loops about money, status, and survival. And yet nothing ever resolves. There's no resolution. It all just loops, this kind of anxiety loop. And when we are inside those loops, silence really becomes threatening. Silence becomes something to avoid, something uncomfortable. Most people can't just be. They instinctively reach for their phones, for the scroll, for the noise, anything. Anything to quell that inner sense of uncomfortableness. They say they are bored, but maybe boredom is just what silence feels like when you are addicted to stimulation. Really, we have become slaves to doing, to the next thing and the next. Even rest is often reframed as utility. I'm meditating to boost performance. I'm resting so I can get more things done. We can't just rest for the sake of resting. We always need a reason. And this is a big difference to the way that children act in the world. Children who are free. They are free to do things, to play without consequence, without having this overriding purpose. Children really are people who are disinhibited. And in that disinhibition, they are really free. They're really in touch with reality as it is, beneath and beyond all the bullshit that adults tend to project into reality. Like this sort of projection that this is just the way we do things. This is what you need to do to survive, to get by. When you are still in such a world which condemns you to this treadmill of constant doing, when you are still, you are quietly refusing to participate in this world. You are partaking in a subtle form of rebellion, a resistance to being useful all the time. Just look at how we admire those workaholics, those people who are burning themselves out with 4 a.m. wake up productivity routines. We look upon them not really with concern, which is perhaps what we would do if we were in a healthy society. We look upon such people with envy. We call them high achievers. We call them successful. We want to be like them, if only we weren't so lazy. But really, we've got it truly inverted as a culture. We only value what we can see. We only value output. We only value efficiency, work, and numbers. And because rest is invisible, rest cannot be easily commodified and marketed into something profitable. We treat it as unreal. We treat it as not useful, not valuable. You see, in our material age, we have reduced life to what can be measured in a monetary value, to what can be seen fundamentally. And because you can't quantify or measure a feeling, we exile it. And to fit into this world, we have to really turn our gaze outwards into what can be clearly measured and shown, a kind of symbol of success for other people. And when we live in these symbolic dances of I am working, we really abandon ourselves. We abandon our internal experience by prioritizing and only emphasizing the external. And over time, when we abandon our feelings, we become exiled to ourselves. We become sick. We experience a kind of psychic fatigue that we call burnout. We experience a spiritual starvation. We prioritize and only value the outer, and we forget the inner reality of our experience. Perhaps what we may call the spiritual experience that we are all situated in. And we forget that the inner and the outer, the realm of our feelings and the realm of our actions, they're not really separate. They were never separate. They were entangled. They are two fundamental sides of the same flame of our experience, right? This is the notion of non-duality, right? Dissolving the separation between the inside and the outside. And this is a fundamental aspect of what we understand as meditation. And in our material age, often meditation is framed as an action, a productivity routine, just something you do to relax. You sit down cross-legged, and meditation is fundamentally framed as an action as opposed to a radical transformation of one's perception. And you see, meditation, it is an action. It is an inaction. It is just being. It is just being what you already are. And you're not chasing money or this or that thing. You're not trying to escape from reality, to bypass reality. You're just watching. You're just witnessing what already is. And this can be unbearable at first because we so rarely give ourselves the opportunity to just witness and be without an agenda. And many people, they begin this process of sitting still, and suddenly the noise gets louder, the body twitches, the mind won't shut up. And then some people say, well, meditation just isn't for me. My mind is too chaotic, it's too frantic. But what they really are saying is that they've never truly allowed their mind to rest. They've never truly allowed themselves to just be with themselves. They've always been caught up in this relentless cycle of doing this and doing that and doing this and doing that, forever enslaved to action. And when we are enslaved to action, we become thoroughly dissociated from who we are fundamentally. We become lost in the maya, the illusions of this world. And so I will ask you again, if you can't sit alone in a room without distraction, are you really free?